And we're waiting for this thing to get a little bit closer here. I'm going to post these numbers. Uh, all right, our pivot this morning is going to be 44.10. We're going to have resistance up at 44.20, 28, 37, and 47. We're going to have some support down at 44.01, 43.92, 80, 73, 65, and 54. Now we're just sitting back and we can wait for the bell to ring, which is going to be shortly, and see how they handle this. But now we're trading just a little bit below our pivot. I was in hopes that they'd hold up closer to it, but it looks like they're going to run to that 41.01 area. Looks like that should have been the pivot. If you type it, if you put down to everyone can see it. If you go down to in the chat thing and there's a little arrow down there and you click on it, it'll say to host and panelist. Only the host and panelist can see you then. Yeah. The bell has rung. Coming back up to our pivot area. First level up there is going to be at the 20 area. Well, we opened up down at 2, close to the 01. The 01's going to be a little suspect now. Let's see if we can get it down to that 98 area. Back to the pivot. This morning's opening up kind of strange. Remember that the geopolitical situation can be very volatile. So, if you're going to trade, keep your stops in. Our VIX is trading at 29.34. So the volatility is going to be a little bit more today. So your stops are probably going to have to be a little bit wider. Sure, Julio. Let's see here. Try that. Let's go. we're coming into that 01. That 01's going to be a little suspect now since we've already got to it. That 98 is probably going to be a good out if you short this market. Yep. We're going to blow through the 01. Next level down below it, it's going to be at 92. Now it's going to react off the 01. Go figure. Brad, when I share my screen, I lose. I still have the pictures and what am I trying to say? The deal at the bottom of the screen that allows me to share screen and stuff like that. But I lost the Saul's charts or just the background in there. But I can't. My charts are here. Can you see my charts?
Absolutely.
Okay, that's as long as you can see them.
Well, let's make sure everybody else can see them. Everybody else sees Don's charts?
Okay. All right. Good. Appreciate it. I saw it there for a minute, then the charts disappear and I just have the bar at the bottom. Okay, we are trading back to the blue band area. We opened up down close to the 01. The 01 was a little bit suspect at that point. We blew through it, went on down to that 98 area, came back up to the blue band. Now we're tromping back down here. I'd like to see us tromp all the way down to the 75 area, but hey, there's no guarantees where it's going to go. Just remember, we do not know what it's going to do next. So wherever we take a trade, we have to have a reason, and we have to have a good reason to get out if it's not working. It's that simple. I could say, oh, it's going to 75. Let's everybody get short. And all of a sudden it turned around and runs way on up there. And it can do that. But the volatility is a little higher today after that little run going on Friday. We're 100 points difference. We were at 45.20 was the high for Friday after the open. And we're trading down here at this 44.05 area. So I'm not showing any news coming out at 9, not to speak of anything, but I got areas up there at the 20 and the 28 and down at the 73 area. I'd like to see it go down, then reverse up, but it is what it is. This is a typical Monday. Everybody's trying to make up their mind what they want to do. We're trading right at our pivot. Mike, no, we don't. I could place orders all day long, but I have a reason for it. And basically, we give out the levels, and people come in and they look at the levels and they say, okay, yeah, they work. Not every time do they work, but yeah, they will work. So, but the problem is our risk tolerance and our everybody's trades accounts different. We could just take this one and say, okay, let's throw a one lot at it and see what happens. Well, a one lot and with a 10-point stop is not a big deal to me. A one lot with a 30-point stop is not a big deal to me. A one lot with a 2-point stop with almost a 30 VIX is kind of tough. If you get in exactly at the right spot and it reacts, yes, it works. So Saul's goal is not to show everybody your trades as much it is, look, we're trying to teach everyone to trade on their own, to where you don't need us. You don't need, you can be able to sit down and do this on your own. So we don't tell everybody where the trades are at. I have an opinion this morning, and basically I've said my opinion. I think we're going up to that 28 area and maybe down to that 72, 73 area. How we get there, I have no idea. So as at this point in time, we're trading right back at our pivot. The pivot that we chose this morning was 44.10. We've been on both sides of it. It's not really showing us anything until we get up to the 20 area. We really don't have any trades at the moment. We're waiting and watching, and that's all we do. We hurry up and wait. We're expanding our range out. I can see that. Let's see. I'm showing resistance up there at the 1920 area and 23. I mean, they're just all stacked in there. Look at that. We're back at our pivot again. If anyone has any questions, feel free to ask. I'll answer them if I can. $91. Yeah, basically, depending on your risk tolerance, and in this market, sometimes you have to fade it a little bit. You have to be a little ahead of the numbers. Right now, with as much volatility is, if you're just trading one lots, the number are a little bit better than the number. In other words, if you're going long and we're trading at 44, you may get 30. You may put 39.50 in there because of the slippage in there. But what we're looking for areas that this market should react off of. It's going to come down. It's going to bounce off of it. Our next level down there is going to be down at 92 area. So at 92, we're looking to, in this market, anywhere from 2 to 4 points. It's what kind of reaction we're looking for. And you won't have a whole lot of time. I mean, your order has to be sitting there. We got to 93.50. Yesterday's low was 93.25, I believe, somewhere in there. You know, these areas, they're just areas. They're not, we don't use half numbers or quarter numbers or 3/4 numbers. We use plain numbers, plain round numbers. So it's either 96, 95, 4,000, you know, it's not a 98.50 area. So we're still in the same bar. We could get down there, but Trading back up in that 01 range. We've come back to the blue band area. My blue band is this one right here. It's not very prevalent. I'll tell you what I can do. Let's see. Oh, 13, it'd be way out of whack. There we go. Now we can see the blue band a little better. And we're back to our pivot again. Imagine that. Okay, Bernard, I'm sorry. I'm watching the chart over here. Let me see if I can get you some levels in here. That's what we're using right now. Let's see where we're coming to next. We're going nowhere fast. Coming back to our pivot. It is choppy this morning. That ought to take us back to the old 5. Okay, we're coming back into our blue band area. It is choppy, choppy, choppy. If you're going to trade it, be careful. This thing can go either way. There's the old 5. Let's see if they'll take it to that 93. And we're trading back at our old 1 now. Can't make up its mind if it wants to go to 20 or 75. I'm flat sitting on the sidelines. Honestly, I'd like to see it go down, then go up. All right, we're coming back into that 92. That 92 is going to be more riskier now, so to speak, since we've come real close to it already. So if you're going to trade it, keep your stop in. Next level down is going to be at 80. I like that 73, 74 level better. Doesn't mean that's where we're going, but I tend to like it better. Welcome to Mondays. It's kind of like they don't have enough ammo to get on down there. Well, it's going to have to do something here. Like I say, I still like that 74, 75 area. I've got a pivot, I mean, a number down there, 73. I like the 75s, but I figured if we started down there, we'd have a little bit momentum and we would probably overrun it. VIX is up to 30. Hey, look at us. We're coming back up to that 92 area. This is where you get in trouble. I'm fighting a dilemma, long and short. It can go both ways. You know, you think about it, at any moment in time, the market can go up or it can go down. We don't have any idea. I had that bias to the short side coming down into the 74. So I wish it would just get on down there and hit that I could get on my bias to the long side up back up at the 20 area. We came back up to the 92 and just stopped. What are the numbers on the candles? You talking about these numbers right here, that 49 and stuff like that, where they're red? Yeah, that is it's a program for Ninja Trader from Ninjacators is the thing, and it's called Net Volume. Let's see, what is it? Oh, it's a E-mini visualizer pattern. Now, in theory, when you got a red dot up here, and right below that bar, they have what they call scalp lines. Let me see if I can put them on there real quick. Now, there's a way to turn those scalp lines on and off, but don't ask me where it's at right now. But in theory, what you're supposed to do is you're supposed to go short below this bar right here. And then if it gets above it, then you're going to supposedly be out. Same way with this one here. You're supposed to go short anything below that bar. This one here would be a long where they're green. Same way with here. Do they work? I guess they do. You know, I'm already in a trade based on what this thing right here is. It's kind of like, okay, I would have been in this trade right here. I'd have been long already. Matter of fact, I am long already. We're coming back up in the blue band area. But I haven't taken it off my charts. The only reason they're there. Honestly, I don't know how to use them. You know, I bought the little program and said, "Oh, this is really neat," and this is about as far as I've gotten with it. I don't use it, so the program really doesn't do me a whole lot of good. You know, but the time this thing gets to figuring out what it wants to do, I can already be in a trade and out of a trade. So I have areas to trade off of. I have patterns to trade off of. I have areas to get out. I should have held this one because I believe we're going to 20. But my experience with the blue band, every time I get back to it, it reverses and goes down 2 or 3 points. So it's kind of like, I'm not giving those points back to them. So I just bail the trade. You know, that trade there lasted probably less than, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4 minutes. And it yielded 10 points. That's great. I'm happy. I'm a happy camper. Okay, where's it going now? I have no idea. We're trading. I mean, you look at our O1s. If you just took and did anything and put a line here at 01, one down here at 92. I don't have Bollinger Bands. I'm running Don Chain channels up here. Which, do I know how to use them? No. Really and truly, I'm going to flip another chart over there. And I don't know if you'll be able to see this one or not. Can you see this chart right here? I don't know if y'all can see it. It's just basically, yeah, okay. This is about as simple as it gets. I got a blue band, and I've got another one up here that I don't really need, that black line on there. But I can trade off this chart here. And if I'm trading on a 1 minute chart, you gotta, if you're gonna trade off of a lower time frame chart, which there's nothing wrong with that, you have to. And if you notice that on this left side of this chart here, these little bitty blue dots coming in here, that is the blue band that is tied into a 5 minute blue band. So in other words, this blue band, instead of a 20 period moving average, this one may, on a 1 minute chart, I forgot what it is. I'd have to go back and look, but I could tell you real quick. Properties. That's 100 period moving average. And it's just on the bar close. So it looks back 100 bars, and it gives the same data as this blue band here does. It's just my blue band on my my 1 minute chart. So I have to know where that one is. Excuse me. I have to know where that one is in relationship to this one over here. So when I get back to it, sometimes I'll stop at this one, but I know that we should get to that one. So that's the only difference between my charts. Some of the data on the 5-minute chart is translated into this 1-minute chart. Now, do you need that? No. We're coming down to that 80 range. See what it's going to do with 80. Faded it, you're getting paid off. We got down to 80.50. A lot of times what I'll do with the 1-minute chart is if I have a bias and I have a reason to trade, then I will trade it. Yeah. But right now, I don't have a reason to trade. I'm not at a level. I'm going back up to a level. We're coming back up to that 92 area. I've got a little resistance at 91. I know that. So everything that I'm basically talking about is on the chart. These lines, these blue lines going across here. Let's see. Go back to my. Let's see, 86. $35. There. I mean, there's nothing. There's things on this chart that's really not needed. There's actually Bollinger Bands like Saul's charts. They're actually on here. I just have them. Let me see if I can get them to turn on here. No, that's not them. There they are. These dots you see running right through here, these are the Bollinger Bands. I just have mine instead of Saul has his in red. I just made mine white so they blend in the background, but they're actually there, and I know they're there. Just that I don't know how to use them. uh, when you calculate daily numbers, what do you look at? Basically, uh, you know, when I look at this chart, I'm going to blow this up, see if I can not confuse everybody here. When I look at this chart, I know that from this point right here to this point right here, that's 1 hour. So that's an hour's range. And, every one of these horizontals is set about an hour apart. So I can look back and I can say, okay, this was a big hour range to the downside. So I can pick my levels off of this right here, and I can scrunch them up. I can do them like that right there, and I can make the lines bigger, smaller. It doesn't really matter. But I've trained myself to look. So for me to be able to see, in Saul's case, if you notice his charts are all black. Well, mine are red and black. If the close is below the open, it's going to be a red bar. Is that anything important? Nah, you can see it on his, but he's concerned strictly with levels. I'm digging into my toolbox and I'm trading some other stuff that's going on. And so I have an 80, I had an 82. So I know coming into this 80 area, which was about right in here, I know that I had 80, 81, and 82. Now, 82 I took. I made a little bit out of it and bailed the trade. I'm happy with it. So that level is now null and void. So these are not calculated numbers. These are actually numbers that come off the charts. The chart's telling us where these areas of inflection should be. And Saul teaches you in his course on how to find these. And a lot of times there's a bunch of them just stacked right on top of each other. And so you have to take in mind the volatility, the what the market's doing. But I'm really surprised with a 30 VIX. We're relatively calm. We've had quite a bit of volume. It looks like normally by 10 o'clock we're up to about 500,000, and we're at 9:30, and we're already to 786,000. So the volume is up there. As it stands right now, we're twiddling our thumbs. We came up close to that blue band. So this is not. We don't get our numbers from a formula. We get our numbers from looking at the price action, and price action is telling us, okay, where are these areas of deflection at? I want to get long this market so bad I can taste it, but I don't have a place now. If I jump in, I'm going to have to sit through a big old drawdown, and I also see that 74 area down there, and I'm not going to do that. To get the pivot, the most important factor is 30-minute bar of 9 to 9:30 a.m. we don't run a calculated pivot. As simple as it is, we're not calculating that pivot. That just it's an area, it's a level, it's a reason for taking that pivot. And you can see if you go back and you look at what has transpired today, even on a 5-minute chart. Well, this is the 10 area. So the 10, that was our pivot area. Then we had our next level down was what at 01. So there's our 01 area. So 01. Then we dropped down into what, 92. That one barely missed it, but you can see where these areas they come back up to it and stopped, and they went through it and they come back down to it. So these are important. What does a pyramid mean? Well, basically the pivot is a line in the sand. We get above it, probabilities of being long are better than they are being short. You get above your pivot. Now, this is where the water gets kind of muddy. We have a pivot zone and we get above it and we want to trade to the long side, but we're going to run into a level. Then we're going to trade it to the short side. Then we're going to ride that down. Then we may take it and trade it back up to that pivot and beyond. There's so many trades in a day, depending on what the price action's doing. If you come in here and we just give you the numbers, the only thing that you're able to trade is the numbers. You don't know these other trades. You're not seeing these price action trades unfold. You may see them, but you're not understanding what you're seeing. And forgive me, because everybody that comes in here is all different skill levels. I mean, there's some really good traders that know this stuff real simple and easy and it makes sense to them. Then there's the very new traders. So I'm talking in terms of generalities. I don't mean to step on anybody's toes or hurt anybody's feelings. This would, when you think about it, what Saul's, he was a floor trader. He traded in the pits. And so if you're going to take a trade, you better be able to, you have to be able, if you're going to buy it, you have to be able to sell it at a higher price to make any money. If you sell it, you have to be able to buy it back at a lower price to make any money. So, and the longer that you're in a trade, the more times things can go wrong. Somebody can come out and geopolitical, just whatever news, the Fed announcement, so-and-so speaks. We have no idea what all this stuff is. So that's the reason we put the stops in. That's our safety net. We're going to trade. We know where we're right. We know where we're wrong. We know where we think it should go. We know that, look, we're here to scalp it. We're not here to hit home runs. And right now we're trading below our pivot. We've traded down to that 80 area. We bounced off of it, made a little money on it. The pivot, it was tough this morning when it opened up. And I'll be the first one to tell you, it was tough. It wasn't until 9 o'clock that where we really got some decent trades. But, that's just the way it is. It's trading. Some mornings are fast. Last week, by 9:30, by 9 o'clock, I was finished. This thing just was zipped around all over the place. Well, this week it's not doing it. So this is to me is a typical Monday. There's a lot of people out there trying to figure out what they want to do. They took a pretty good hickey on Thursday and Friday, and they're thinking, okay, do I want to stay? If the people that are owning stocks, if they thinking about bailing out, are we going back down to that 4,300 level? Are we going back below that into that 4,200 area? I have no idea. And so me to survive, I have to come in here and trade what it's telling me it's doing. And to know that, look, I'm on the wrong side of this thing. I need to get out. And I still like that 20, but I can't trade the 20. It's not giving me any indication that's what it wants to do. Let's see, where is it? Now this dog's going to come down. Next level down is going to be at 73. Well, if you were brave enough to take the 80 again, you're getting paid off. The numbers work. It's learning to see them, trade them, know when you're wrong, and wait for the next opportunity. That's all it is. It just But I've been trying to trade down to that 75 all morning long. I started on that endeavor just a little after seven, and it wouldn't give it to me. Just after a while, it does just wear you out. So I will have a bias and I will take a long-term target, but I'll short trade it just a bunch of different times. Just also, Patrick, the pivot, he actually will. There's a trade that we do. It's called a pivot trade, and we'll actually use the pivot as a trade. We have another one that Saul teaches calls the blue band trade, where we actually use that blue band that, really and truly, if you're not using this stuff on your charts, get rid of it. No sense in I've got a bunch of excess, and I'll get the reds every now and then, and I'll go through and I'll clean house. I don't need this. I hadn't used this. I'm not going to use this. Uh, because a clean chart is a whole lot easier to trade off of. That's for sure. And sometimes these, we may have the best intentions in the world, but sometimes they just don't work. It's not it's not time for it to work yet. And when it's time, it usually works pretty quick. So this is a Monday morning. There was a certain amount of people that wanted to get long, a certain amount of people that wanted to get short. And so it looks like the Bears are winning right at the moment. Next level down is going to be at 73. I'll be right back as soon as I can figure out how to operate this stuff. It likes that 80. Coming back up to our 92. I'll be glad when Saul gets back. He makes a whole lot more noise than I do. Guys, I'm just sitting and waiting. I thought, well, I'd get up and move around and we go down to that 75 area and bounce. But so much for that thought. I'm just sitting here, sitting on the sideline, missing trades left and right. Well, we're coming up on 10 o'clock. We are trading the E-mini S&Ps. What we're doing, we're here to scalp them. These levels, I will post the levels again in the mornings when we get here. We get our levels and we put them in the chat for everyone to see. And these are the numbers that we used to trade off of. These are areas that we expect the market to bounce from, to, and fro. So we are looking to take positions in and around these levels. And we have people that want to know, can you trade this on the NASDAQ? You can do this. The principle is the same. The only difference between this and NASDAQ or the Dow or the big S&P or even stocks is the numbers. Numbers are going to be different. How we do it, what we do is still all the same. We're looking at a chart. You could change the name of the chart and the numbers would change, but we'd still be looking at the same things. I see there's some Forex traders. We don't trade Forex. You know, we're here to scalp the E-mini S&P, and that's what we do. You know, many years ago when I started out, I started messing with the Dow because it was $5 a point. Well, that's nice. When you're learning, it doesn't cost you as much, but you don't make very much either. And out of all the things that I've messed with, from options to stocks to this, I like this. I mean, I like the way it trades. I can be short, long, equal amounts in the same day if I want to. There is a lot of trades that happen each and every day. All right. Let's see if we can get a little pullback in here. Is there a training video now? There is. Brad will come in here in a little while and explain to you everything, but you can go to the website, and basically what we do every day is we come in and we post the numbers, and I'll post them again. Uh, and there is a monthly fee associated with this. I have no idea what it is. Brad does. He's got all the deals. And like I say, he'll be in a little while and he can explain it to you. But you can pay that monthly fee, and that basically what that allows you to do is to come into this room every day and get these numbers at a nominal fee. That basically just pays for the internet service and stuff like that, I believe. And we're going to trade. Saul's going to trade. I'm going to trade, regardless if I'm in the room or not. You know, if I'm at a computer and I don't have anything to do, I'm going to trade. I like it. And so you don't have to do anything else if you just want these numbers. If you want to try and do them on your own, that's okay too. Then if you want more, he has a trading course that you can take. And you take that trading course and he teaches you how to find these numbers, how to trade these markets. And you know, it's like everybody else. He spent many years learning his craft, and he's good at it. And so, Jake, it's not a question on how much I've made today. The question is how much, you know, for your own sake, how much did you make? You should be able to make $500 to $1,000 a day doing this. You should. Are you going to do it every day? No. There's some days you're not in sync with it. And other days you're just dead on. No, I use the VIX just to see what kind of volatility we're running into the market. Hold on, let me see if I can get out of this trade here real quick. Okay, I'm out. And I shorted that 91 area. I got a quick scalp out of it. You know, I believe we ought to come all the way back down to 83, but you know, it doesn't made my, you know, we got a good portion of it out already, so I don't care. Yep, there's that 83. So, you know, we're all different skill levels, different account sizes. And so Saul doesn't want to tell you what to trade and how to trade it. He wants to teach you to where you can do it on your own. And that way, the only person, because we're all responsible for our own actions. And I've tried these things to do what other people do, and I can't do them. They just didn't fit my personality. And I'm not to say this will either. If this is something that you don't like how it works, then by all means don't trade it, because you'll just lose money at it. And you've got to believe in it too. You know, when I first started with him, he told me, he said, the only difference between you and me is that I believe in the numbers. And it took me a while also to start to believe in the numbers, but the numbers work pretty good. And then when you throw in a few other little ditties like that, there's just so many trades in a day. I'll trade anywhere from 1 to 2, sometimes 3. And I don't throw 10 lots at it. I come in here, my goal is to not look for these home runs every day, but to scalp. If I have I've been talking about that 75 just all morning. I've been trying to get down to it. Well, it hadn't given it to me, but it's given me a lot of opportunities to trade it down there. So I've been trading it to the downside, and I've been trading long too, but mostly to the downside. And, and it's, I'm just scalping. So if I get into a trade and it's not going the direction I thought it would, I get out. Yeah, I do. I'll put on multiples and take one off. And, especially if I think it's a runner, to me, if I put a 2 lot on and the next thing I know, I'm sitting at $300, I'm going, hey, get me out of this trade. I'll sit there all day long and trade $100 to $150 a deal and try not to be wrong. Doesn't mean I will, but I sure will try. We all have to come to realize that, look, we're all different animals and we all have a different trading style, and we most definitely all have different risk tolerances. And so we're going to have to trade that accordingly. And, so this is not when I look back at it, and trust me, I've kissed a lot of frogs in the pond. I've taken a lot of trading courses. And I know there's a lot of folks in this room that have probably taken as many, if not more than I have. But we've got to learn from someplace, from somebody, somehow. We can try and do it on our own. And I did that for a long time. And then I tried to learn from somebody else that had good systems. And in all fairness, all their systems worked. They just didn't fit my personality. And so I didn't like them, and I wouldn't trade them like I should. I wouldn't follow the rules. And, that's a death sentence right there. The rules are pretty simple. You get in at a spot. Rule number 1 is know where you're wrong. How much pain am I going to suffer through this mess before I get out? And once you've come to realize that little one fact right there can make you a lot of money, because you're not sitting in drawdowns. You're not emotionally in an upheaval. You got a net below you. So you get up and do all the stupid things you want to above it, because, if you fall off, you're going to land in the net. You're covered. So that takes a lot of stress off of you. And, so when you get in a trade, it starts going with you. Take you some profits. And if you want to leave a runner on, leave a runner on, run that stop up to break even plus a tick. Or, most of the time when you do that, you're going to get stopped out. This market at a 29, 30 VIX here like this, the 5-minute bars are swinging a pretty good ways. And we came back to that 80 again. So we're just trading between that 92 and that 80 area right at the moment. Yeah. So, I was reading something the other day. We as traders, we get together and we talk about things. And basically, we're not talking about what's the market doing. We're talking about what we've been doing, how we got to some point. Then we all find out that we're getting to the same point. We're just arriving at it in different manners. And, some of us just have stepped into this, and they were fortunate enough to take a course and follow the rules, and it works for them. But when you start on your own and you gain a lot of bad habits, and you take a course and you say, oh, that's like these levels. Here's a prime example. Well, I'm not going to take that level. I don't like, that's okay. You don't have to. It's okay not to like a level. I'll do that all the time. But, I miss a bunch of trades. But if you take the levels, put in the stops, take your profits and get out, and that's basically all we're doing. And you're keeping it simple. I don't have 5,000 indicators, except I got a lot of lines on my chart. I have to admit that. I just want that 72. I mean, that's, down that area. That's more maybe trying to change a little bit here. Nah, not yet. So I mean, when you come in and you think about it, look, all we got to do is come in, sit down. The trading method is, look, we got the levels, we've got the areas. You can pay for the course and learn to do it on your own, or you can just pay a monthly fee and just get them and write them down and trade them. But I think the most important rule of all of this is, look, if you trade them, know where you're wrong. And if you can do that, the rest is simple. And you just come in and do that day in and day out. Our goal is to make a little money a lot of times. And, we're not going to be 100%. That's the fact. We're just not going to be there. You can get pretty close, but well, I will tell you this is I've had 13 trades this morning. And I should have had more than that. Normally I'm knocking on the door 20, 22 trades. Yeah, well, 73 is a number. If you're going to fade it, depending on how much risk that you want to tolerate, I can see us hitting the 73. But I also, if we get down there, I'm looking to the upside. And so doesn't mean that's where we're going. It's just that I have to, and there's nothing wrong. You can take either one of those, Ron. Let's see. I think I have lost a couple of trades. Let's see. I've lost $275. I've had 13 trades. 11 of them were winning, 2 losing ones. And right now I am flat. I don't need to trade anymore today. I can, but I will, but it's got to give me something to trade. And so far, I don't have it. I'd love to say yes. I mean, I can tell you what I see right now. I see a trade from 85 to 91. Don't know if we're going to go down there to that 74 first. See, my risk tolerance is probably pretty high for right now because I can narrow this thing back down to one lot and I can stand a big drawdown. But there's no need in it. It's kind of like, why sit in a bad trade? That just didn't make a whole lot of sense. Let's go, boys. Let's get to 74, 75, 3, something. Let's do something. I think we get below 80 here. It might go down. I still see that 80 to 91 area, 85 to 91. It's an area that, if you took it if you took it here at 82, where would you be wrong? At 80, a little below 80. There we go. I take my profits about like I take my trades. I fade them going into it. I had 90.75 as an out. That was a good trade. Seeing the trades one thing, is sometimes I was in at 85 and it dropped down to 80. I bought another one. My stop was below 80, for both of them. And it worked. That was my plan. I saw the trade. It didn't set up exactly like I wanted it to, but it did set up. A better option would have been to buy about weight instead of just jumping in by the 85.50s. You wouldn't have had to sit through the drawdown side of it. Then if it did go below 80 and it took off down for that 74, you wouldn't be in such a bind. You just kind of like, okay, I didn't lose any money on the trade. Now watch us come back to that 86 level, 85. Well, we're up at 92. I say we should go back to the pivot, then the 20. Now, whether it makes it or not, who knows? I've scalped enough today. We're trading back above our blue band right now. And we're trading up here at 96. We're above 92. Blue band's at about 92, 93. Some people will trade it from above it back to it. So the 96 should have gave you the 93 at least. Made it to 93 and a quarter. There's the 93. So we're taking the trades as they come around. They're price action trades. They're just, and it's just, somebody asked me, I think it was either Thursday or Friday, says, how do you get the confidence to take these trades? And you have to believe in them. And how do you believe in them is seeing them work day in and day out over and over and over again. It's kind of like, why don't I take this? It's been working. Well, first time I did that, I jumped in and it didn't work. I'm going, that figures. But if you're going to take a blue band trade, take all the blue band trades. Don't cherry pick. If you're going to cherry pick the numbers, sometimes it'll work, sometimes it won't. Just take the trades and know where you're wrong and get out. At the end of the week, most of the time, if not all the time, you're gonna be ahead. Yes, you're gonna have some losses. I've had losses today. I made way more than I lost. So I don't have any complaints. And I'm not telling you this to brag. That's not fact. I am my own worst enemy. I fight with me more than anything. There's days that I come in here and I wish somebody would tell me, don't do that, do that. And then I wish I would listen to them. That's the next question. Knowing me, I get, like Saul says, I'm kind of hard headed. And, but when you find something that works day in and day out, you just do it. We all come here to do one thing, and that's to make money. And if we can just trade what is and keep our opinions out of it, we'll be all right. Today is one of the days that we've got mixed signals running in this market, some long, some short, and they get hard. It's hard to trade for those longer term swings because they're retracing so much. And so, if you get in a good position, just ride it till that puppy drops and get out. I can have a really good analysis of this market, and I'll share my analysis with you right now. I believe we're going back up to, at a minimum, the 10 area, and probably the 20, if not higher. Now, how we're going to get there? Just don't trade it. Just write it down and say, okay, if I am truly correct, how would I trade that? Where would I get in at? Would I just jump in here? Would I wait for a pullback? So analysis that's just all they are. They're just the thought process. So if you trade them and you trade them wrong, they cost you too much money. But if you trade at an area for a good reason, then you're getting in for a very small amount to take advantage of a large amount. So, if I thought we were going back up to the 10 area, and I took the 85s, fine. Okay. Where should I get out? Well, we also know that we're at 4401. We got resistance there now. The question is that going to stop it? Are they going to reverse it back down? We don't know. How greedy are you? If you took the 85s, you're trading up here at the 4400s. I mean the 43.99s, 4400s, I should say. That's what, 15 points in there. How much of that 15 points do you want? Is it going to go higher? Maybe. So you either got to have to make up your mind on, do I take profits or do I try and hold on for that push? Well, I will take profits in here and look for a pullback. If I get it, great. If I don't, I made money on the trade. Sometimes I get out too soon. I'm notorious for that. When you start getting 10, 12, 13, 15 point profits, I don't believe in giving it back. Because this thing, is squirrely as this market is, we can turn around and it run all the way back to where you got in and then some. So trade, but know where you're wrong when you get into a trade and have a good reason to trade. And I'm saying, even though my analysis says that's where we should go, I don't have a place to get in at. So, in other words, I don't have a place to catch the train. I have to wait till the train comes to a station somewhere, then get on board. And then if it's going the wrong direction, get off. And when you get in these trades, you should know before you even think about a target price. I already have an analysis up there, so I got an idea where it should go. But when I get into that trade, if I bought the 80s, where am I wrong? 79.50, good. Below that area. If it gets below that, it's not going in my direction. Don't mean it can't go down there and turn around and reverse and run on up there. It can. But always know where you're wrong and have a reason. I mean, I see a lot of different areas, but I also see areas that we can come back into. We can come back into that. We can come back to the blue band at that 92 area. Will we? I have no idea, but we could. So, if you've been long from this area down into here, you don't want to give, that's 50% of that run back into that area as it stands right now. Usually they'll take off in a direction and they'll get real close and they'll turn around and swing it the other way. Because not only do you see these levels and areas, so does everybody else. And I know somebody's going to ask this question, well, if you know it's going to go back to 92, why don't you trade it? Well, you could, but you're going to jump in. You're going to jump in right here at the 02 level. Where am I wrong? 556. you're trading kind of right between the levels between the 01 and the 10s. And my analysis is to the upside, so I really don't want to take a short, not at these levels. And if I was long this thing, I would probably be, I'd ought to touch 8, but it's kind of like, don't want to do a drawdown. And I don't know this is going to draw down. It's just, that's the problem with trading. You're darned if you do, and you're darned if you don't. But I still like the 75 areas. I'm really surprised, shocked that we didn't kind of get down there first. And this what's make this up here at that 8 suspect. The fact is that we didn't get to the 75s and we didn't get to the 8s either, or the 10s or the 20s. It's kind of like, okay, what are they doing here? We're trading and it's 10:30. Still take it to the 92 area. Well, we got to 6 and some change. Needs to get back to 8 to 10. Well, guys, I'm going to be sitting in the background back here if anybody needs anything. Right now, I'm just, it's doing its thing and I'm just watching. I don't have any, the upsides. I'm still saying 8 to 10 to 20 area. I was looking to see if we'd come back and test that 92. Brad, go ahead if you need to say something there. I know we should retest that 94. It's getting real choppy now. I'm surprised we didn't retest that 94. Why? Because what it did on the 5-minute chart, the price action, that it was telling me that's what it should be doing. We should retest it. And we might, but the question is when? I shorted the 4s, and I got to be out at 7. I'm out.
Hey, a couple quick programming notes. For those that are coming in as guests, welcome. We've got a special offer for you. I did send it out a couple times in the chat area for your review. We exited some people this morning again that hadn't taken a moment to sign up. I think they'll be calling to get back in. You can review it on the website. It is tradealongtradingacademy.com. You can find our contact information. If you want to just sign up right now, we're giving a special deal. It's $3.99 a month at the normal rate, and right now it's on for $150 a month. And if you do 3 months, it's really at the $3.99 rate. It's $400, so that's a great deal. If you like what we're doing here, you like what Saul's doing, like what Don is doing, then stick around. Be part of it. Be part of something. Don't be a piker. Make sure that you get signed up and you're part of the family. We call it friends and family. You know what to do from there. It's in your chat area. Hey, Anand, how are you? Anupam, Edward, Jake, Johnny Z. Hey, Kent. Hey, Kent, you must be coming up on your anniversary date. Let us know how we can help you. Mark, Matt, May, Patrick, hey, Philip, Walk, Shazad, and Zahurul. Just let us know. You can upgrade from the Trade Along live session into Saul's mentoring, and we can help you do that on a personal level. In other words, we can work with you on a personal level and help you do better in your trading. Help you along the line of becoming the best trader you can be, with the goal of helping you develop consistent profitability, which is a tall order. Jake. That's a nice twist on there, Jake. I got to get out and get some things done, or else I'm going to be in that garage taking some heated lead. I got to make sure that doesn't happen to me. So again, take a moment to sign up. Be appreciative to Don. Be appreciative to Saul. I'm just the agent of doom that'll kick you out. So make sure that you take care of it. Thank you. If you want to come in, it's tradealonglive.com, tradealonglive.com. We're here 9 a.m. to 12 noon with the body of the trading happening between 9:30 and 11:30. Provide key proprietary scalping levels, trade along opportunity, all from an educational point of view only. So check it out. If you like what we're doing here, tell your friends, tradealonglive.com. Thank you.